The cutscene, a cornerstone of RPG storytelling and something which Fire Emblem tends to use sparingly, but when they do, they hit hard, most of the time. And for fun, this video will discuss one of the most random and obscure aspects to the series, its cutscenes. The good, the bad, the boring, and most of all, the sad. And no, the Sacred Stone's flashbacks don't count, okay? Only the game's Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn, Awakening, Fates, Echoes, Three Houses, and Engage count. And finally, I won't be ranking intro cutscenes which exist as compilations of other cutscenes, such as Echoes' intro cutscene, as it just compiles a bunch of regular cutscenes, and that's a bit lame. I also won't be ranking non-named cutscenes, which mainly relates to Radiant Dawn, which has a couple short cutscenes, which are dialogueless and usually just a bit of action. They're good, I like them, but I don't know how to rank them. I can't really, the cutscene has to have an official name. They are just so disconnected, those Radiant Dawn ones, because that's the point, they're cool, but I want to rank the in-context cutscenes. I have no idea how to rank that kind of thing. So, you know what, let's just get into it, okay? But before we begin, what makes a good cutscene? Well, is it pretty?
Show yourself!
Does it convey some story significance?
Wait, you're a woman?
Is it relevant? Is it memorable? Does it get me bricked up? These are all categories which I will think about when ranking these memorable and not so memorable cutscenes. So at the bottom, the worst cutscene in the series is Loose Ends. Okay, so Engage has a lot of cutscenes and some they're not great. For the sake of argument, I will be counting all these CGI cutscenes because some of them actually are quite good and they all have names, so I kind of have to. But Engage has way more cutscenes because of this than most of the games, and because of that, a lot of them are pretty bad. And this one is just kind of pointless. You know, she just kills a guy, it's not that interesting. I think the purpose is to show Zephyr being a bad bitch, but I think that's implied through the design and her threatening to kill the queen in an earlier cutscene, but yeah, this one's weak. Overdone, played out, Camilla lookalike, and Zola here doesn't mean much to me. And what is with that laser? What is this, Mephiles? Saline. Minnie Mouse and Ida here protect Saline while she escapes, and that's it. Why was this made? It's only above the other cutscene because at least it serves as an introduction to Firene and Saline. A boring one, but an intro nonetheless. Queen Ev. Dickhead and Zephyr threaten the Queen of Firene. Okay, so aside from this being pretty pointless, I really don't like the animation here. Like, look at my bandit friend here. Why is he moving so strangely? It's almost mocapped. It looks awful. It's not cartoony to be fun, nor is it realistic, because it's so godly smooth. Aside from that nitpick, it's vanilla and very boring. Awake at last. It's alright. Midoriya and Fram wake up Aaliyah and get excited. How cute! It's short and clearly trailer bait, but it works, right? So, it's fine. Vale's struggle. Vale gets sad. No! This is such a sad cutscene! By the way, on this nothing cutscene, I promise this list will include other games, but Engage has a lot of slop, I'm so sorry. But in this cutscene, Vale is tired next. The Draconic Time Crystal. Aaliyah wants to kill Vale is next, and this one kinda doesn't count because it leads into an actually high quality anime cutscene, but I figured I should separate the two because there's a loading screen between, so, and also, it's named in the game, so I have to, but it's really not needed. The Four Hounds. The Gris and Zephyr sad cutscene is next, and I will actually talk about this one for a change. This is so shit. It is the most unearned, random villain redemption I've ever seen. Gris is one thing, but Zephyr has been shown to be an unsympathetic and callous, well, you know, this whole game, and I'm supposed to care about this all of a sudden? She stabbed Marnie like 2 hours ago. What the hell is this? And on top of that, it's implied that these two have romantic chemistry. What? It's only this high because A, I remember it, and B, the volcano setting is different, and C, it tries something different, which I respect. But I still think this one is trash. Hero's Relic. Finally, I broke up Engage's losing streak. We'll be back there soon though, but my least favourite Three Houses cutscene is this one. It's okay. It's mostly here to demonstrate what a hero relic is, and show the audience that they are big and scary and powerful, and I guess it succeeds. But it just feels a bit forced, and it doesn't wow me like I think they want it to. Maybe that has something to do with Lord Lonato being a fairly insignificant character, but who knows. The Corrupted. Let's run back to Engage. That was a nice break, but this one's okay. It did crack a smile from me back when this game launched from this line.
You whose bravery knows no equal.
No, let's run.
Huh?
But mostly this one's nothing, and honestly on reflection this joke's a bit tone deaf, although I had to put it above Three Houses one because I have to remind you, the viewer, that this video does contain more than just one game. That is the only reason. Setback. They're dragging Daddy away! This one's fine, it's kind of funny. I promised while scripting this video that I was flicking through cutscenes from every game, and I'd watch one from Radiant Dawn, or Echoes, or Fates, and then watch Engage and realise how genuinely bad they are. There is no posing, there is no energy, there is no clever shots. The acting is usually alright, but they do so little for me. I hate the way everyone walks, and why does it feel like nothing is happening? Did this need to be a cutscene? Couldn't this have just worked as in-text dialogue? The only thing that works here for me is that Diamond is just watching his dad's body get dragged away, which is both tragic and kind of hilarious to me. Stolen allies. Vale steals the rings. Oh no! Look at this animation. This is really bad. Aside from that, this cutscene is actually not that bad. There is some plot importance and some attempts at some interesting camera shots, but overall it's just kind of boring. And I think that one thing that's hurting these cutscenes is that while I don't dislike Engage, I'm just not invested in its story, when the game itself also doesn't really care. But at least this one does try, and do something, even if the animation is awful. Fogado. This cutscene is way too high, but I like how it looks weirdly, and Fogado is a fun character to watch, as opposed to that Louis and Chloe cutscene. You know, that's it really. I like the vibe, it's a decent character intro for what it is. Perfectly synchronized. Marv and Aaliyah teamwork. It's alright. Kinda cool, and I find it funny how long it takes to kill this one guy. Like, damn, this zombie guy, he's pretty good at parrying these two dudes. What the hell? I mean, fair play to him. Emblem and summoning the Hero King. I enjoyed them. 2 cutscenes in one this time. Anyway, I like how Marv's face is animated here. I don't know why. He looks pretty, but it's pretty triumphant. Good song in the background too. Very epic. Assault on the ring vault. Save the rings! Midoriya, Fram, and Jagan need to get to the vault. I like the setting. Midoriya is a good voice actor. I gotta stop calling him that, but I'm not gonna stop. And I actually like this small team. It feels like there is some stakes here, and with a small force we will power through and win. I actually dare say, I borderline like this cutscene, oh god. Dancer in the Ruins. Why is this cutscene a thing? Why did Seedell get one? It's only this high because it reminds me of a better game.
You must get to safety now!
Николай по сети решил зарубиться в Counter-Strike на...
The other Vale. Vale's evil. Oh no, I swear there are like a dozen cutscenes like this, but yeah, Vale bad. To be honest, it's only this high because it's the cutscene before the best chapter in the game, which is also my most viewed video on this channel, so I've got a bit of a soft spot for it. But yeah, it's plot important. And it does show how Vale and Aaliyah are now tragically separated, but 1, I don't really care about these 2, and 2, I don't feel Vale's voice actress really pulls this role off. When she's doing the normal Vale voice, it's pretty good, but I just can't get into evil Vale. It always sounds forced, but still, I can't deny it's a pretty significant cutscene. Ivy. Ivy lands, and wow, this is our first actual cutscene of the video. About time, and it earns my respect for being actually animated, but it's a weak introduction. It doesn't set up Ivy well and really doesn't leave me feeling much. And also, what's with this battle stance at the end and then the fade out? Why is she doing that? I don't like it. Emblems erased, 13 bonds, and fell Sombron. My friends are my power. Jesus Christ, why does this game have so many cutscenes? For the final cutscene before the big bad boss, this one just doesn't do much for me. Even the roll call feels a bit silly here. Even the transition here looks like something that I would do in these videos more than a professional Nintendo game quality. I think as well that Sombron is just a terrible main antagonist. He does so little in the plot and has 0 emotions. It makes this ending feel completely hollow, but still, it's climactic. I suppose, so that's why it's here. Child of the Fell Dragon. I kinda like his stumble, that's it. Crimson Memories. Aaliyah wants to kill his mother. What? Yeah, I forgot this existed, but this is like a nightmare Aaliyah is having, I think. It's so bad, but I like the expression he makes here. It's actually really decent, and the fire effect sound is amazing. Timera. It's well animated, looks good, nice lighting, and I suppose it works for the character introduction, but it does little for me. Vale's Fire Emblem Awakening. Vale breaks her helmet. Yay, no more mean evil Vale, and she revives Aaliyah through corrupted power, which is actually a pretty interesting plot point, but I don't know, man, why are there so many Vale cutscenes? They blend together. I mean, I actually like Vale, but seriously. The Price of Power, our first Shadow of Valentia pick. My god, it's taken a while, and I just find there's something off about this cutscene. It's not bad, but it feels a little bit pointless. Bakut's voice actor is phenomenal, but this cutscene really doesn't do it justice, so I question why it was made. And on top of that, I don't really like how choppy it is, even by this game standard. Like, I feel the way Renea is drawn here is just not good. But saying that, it is a cutscene. It feels like there is something visually to watch here, unlike all the engaged picks so far, so that's saying something. Hortensia and Dark Emblem. I'm just combining them because they're back to back, but this is a good introduction. Helps that I like Hortensia, but it's subtly threatening and Hortensia is charismatic, and alongside this wide open bridge setting makes for a unique set piece and cutscene. I actually like this one. Alcrest. Good intro, funny cutscene to introduce Alcrest and clearly demonstrates his key characteristics. My only complaint is that he doesn't recognise Alfred. Like, surely these two have met even just a handful of times on diplomatic visits, right? These kingdoms are allies, but that's a nitpick, I'm aware. The Divine Dragon Monarch, Lumira. This game is annoying because there are so many pointless static cutscenes, but the actual animated ones have some really great expression work and vibrant colours. Huge points here for Aaliyah's facial expression, but as most of Engage's work goes, it leaves me feeling a very little. The Girl on the Throne and Winding Back Time. These two work well to set up Sophis, and the rewind mechanic is clearly on display here. It feels a bit basic, however, which is forgivable considering these do take place at the start of the game, but still, I like the glow on Sophis. The Ball. Now, I understand why this cutscene was made. It's basically a, we know the students at this point, it's our downtime, we're supposed to show that we love our students, and we watch the aristocratic activities that come with royalty, and also it's clearly trailer bait. But I don't get it. Why are Edelgard and Dimitri dancing with nobodies, and why are they back to back in this shot? I feel they are trying to imply some kind of romantic chemistry here, but then why don't they make eye contact or something? Or maybe I'm reading too much into it? Then Claude is here and he wants to dance with Byleth, and this is because Byleth feels left out? Claude finds the teacher attractive? Is Claude a player? Or is he gay? Many questions, but it's a unique cutscene, so I'll let it slide, even though it does feel a bit pointless and definitely feels like it was animated before the plot was even implemented. The Second Parting. This cutscene is decent, but it's a blatant copy of an earlier cutscene, where she also dies in Aaliyah's arms, but this one's worse, so okay, why was it made? The Mother's Fury. Okay, so Shadows of Valentia isn't one of my favourite Fire Emblem games, so forgive my ignorance, but I completely forget the context of this one. That's Rudolph, right? And that's Miller? Miller's child? She's got a scary face. I mean, I like Rudolph's sword in the ground. It cracks the floor, that's cool. By the way, did you know there's only 8 cutscenes from Echoes, excluding the intro one? 8! How many does Engage have? Jesus Christ! Alfred. He arrived and he's gorgeous. Good lighting, nice animation, and this blonde boy smells blood. I like it.
The Crown Prince Alfred of Firenze is here to help! Let me at him.
King Morion Corrupted. Dead Dad. This one is kind of cool, but it really highlights the slightly off animation. Why do they move like that? Although I do like Alcrest's resolve here. I like the character, so I'm probably a tad biased. But also, I like at the end when Aaliyah readies his sword. Why does Alcrest just stand there with his fists up? Looks like he's gonna go MMA ring. What the fuck is this? The Shattered Dragonstone. This one works for me for 2 reasons. One is that Vander gets to see both Divine Dragons die, which I find weirdly upsetting. And 2 is that if Aaliyah's death was permanent, it would shift the main character to Vale, and that's a really interesting concept to me. I would have enjoyed a chapter or two where the gang followed Vale and trust her. That could have been really interesting, but it's too short-lived for that idea to ever have worked. Ah, fine, I'll say it. Emblem, engage! I'm not proud of that. Anyway, not much to say here, to be honest. It's a good cutscene to show the introduction of engaging with emblems, and this shot looks cool. It's a bit homoerotic for my liking, however. Armed with Hatred. Number 100, we've got 100 more cutscenes to go, guys. Another Echoes cutscene, this one is a Celica Dream, and I don't really get it, again, but it looks cool. I'm starting to notice these abstract Echoes cutscenes, but whatever. It's got some good action. It highlights Arm as a fighter, Celica as a pacifist, and that's pretty cool. It highlights the game's main characters and their personalities. I won't say this again, but the Echoes cutscenes just lose points for me for their lack of visually appealingness. They don't look bad, but they don't look nearly as good as the other games, which sucks because they are interesting. Black Beasts. Pros. This cutscene clearly intends to demonstrate a core mechanic of Three Houses, which are the demonic beasts as a new enemy type, and this cutscene shows that idea through showing the tragic end of a named but largely irrelevant character. Cons. I don't care about Miklan. Judgment. Holy shit, Tellius. Yeah, there's not many cutscenes between these two games, but they are pretty decent for what they are. I will say, however, that Radiant Dawn has a few unnamed short cutscenes which I don't know how to rank, such as Diginsia doing his beam thing, or this one of Ike. They're both cool, but I don't know what to say apart from they're neat and short, so I've just left them off, also not named, but I like them. Now, onto Judgment. It's a solid cutscene, but it's a bit basic. Ranulf and Scrumia are watching as everybody of the Bayok and Lagoos are turned into stone, and yeah, it works alright to show the plot importance, but I will take this time to say, why do these cutscenes from 2007 look better than Engages in 2023? I'm sorry, it's true. Versus Anankos, the first Fates cutscene, and I should say first that Fates has some really beautiful cutscenes with some surprisingly decent camera angles, creative sets and beautiful colours. But this Anankos cutscene doesn't really work for me, mostly because I don't care much for Anankos and this shot is a bit silly, but overall it's still alright. A Bewitching Dance. This serves as a good character intro for Bakut, but it doesn't go much further for me, and dare I say even comes off a little bit pretentious, but maybe that's okay for a character like Bakut.
It insists upon itself, Lois.
What?
It insists upon itself.
What does that even mean?
Meeting Vale. Beautiful cutscene, and I like Vale's design, plus Footshot and Aaliyah seems captivated, and I don't blame him. Diamant. Shit, this looks beautiful. What the fuck? I wish all the cutscenes looked this good. Oh my god. The lighting. Fuck. Fated Clash 1 and Fated Clash 2. Both of Awakening's beginning cutscenes I'm combining because they're basically the same thing, but it sets up the adventure with a unique question and has a bit of an edge to the start of the journey. Does Robin really kill Crom? However, the colours are a bit muted for my liking. Could be more colourful. Cheerful Elise. Call me biased, but I actually really enjoy Fates' cutscenes. Fates is unique in that a large amount, but not all of their cutscenes, typically act as short sets to complement the character or the current action. They are rarely used to actually progress the plot, as weird as that sounds. They often start quite abruptly and end with a pause, as I'll demonstrate by playing the full Elise cutscene here.
Ready for an adventure? I am! Yay! I'm so happy!
Fate's cutscenes are often used to complement the current situation rather than further the story, and that is the most apparent in that most Fate's cutscenes are POV. From Corrin's perspective, they usually hold on a line or show a set piece, but they're pretty quick usually. And as we work through this very long video, please pay attention to like Awakening's cutscenes, which are much longer and more action oriented. I actually think both work. I don't think there's a clear winner here, but Fate has some gorgeous CGI, so that helps in making these largely irrelevant cutscenes still feel really meaningful. Plus, I think this is the only Fire Emblem game which really does POV cutscenes. Maybe there's one or two exceptions, but this does feel like the only one, so it always makes Fate's cutscenes feel unique. Anyway, Elise is quite low for Fate's cutscenes, mostly because I find hers a bit pointless, even by character intros go, and her line feels a bit forced. Reunion. I've made fun of Evil Lumira in a few videos because I personally fucking hate it. It's stupid and it's only done to save money on not making a new model. But this cutscene kinda goes hard. Lumira has great voice direction here and I admire Vale trying to kill her to save Aaliyah the mental torment. It's actually pretty decent. Sword of the Creator, a good cutscene with some decent action showing Byleth's new sword and demonstrating how absolutely scary Byleth can look. This guy's terrified and I don't blame him one bit. Gathering, and with this we have officially had one cutscene from every game, but Gathering is good. The CGI for 2005 is genuinely decent. It's not the Incredibles now, but it's pretty good, especially for going for a realistic art style, and the transition from Lagoos into their human form is actually pretty good for the time. I also really like this pan up to Nasala. Like, this guy is scary, watch out. No dialogue kind of makes this cutscene feel a little bit boring, but it's really pretty and I admire it probably more than I like it, but still, I think it does a good job setting up these royal Lagoos. Lament. This one annoys me. It should be higher. It's got great voice acting, emotional moments, even though I barely buy these two's love, or even friendship, but whatever. But the visuals, man, they're so mid. Still, it's a good cutscene, but it could be so much better in another game. Curse of Void. Reina Strober delivers a beautifully sad delivery, but overall this one just doesn't do much for me. But these Fates cutscenes get so high purely because I enjoy watching them, for a mix of nostalgia and visual beauty. Lovebirds. What is this shipping shit, man? Jesus, Awakening has some clear bias towards who they think Chrom should marry. This is insulting, but Sumia is pretty. So, 10 out of 10, right? For Crossing, one of the longest Fire Emblem cutscenes, clocking in at over 3 minutes. This one is most notable for the Ranulf-Zelgius epic duel, and it is very epic. I just wish Ranulf would speak up. Like, Jesus Christ, man, stop whispering in your microphone.
Well, well. Sorry to drop in unannounced. We thought it best to hunt the strongest prey.
But still, there is something so cool about this one, both powerful people facing off, and I love how Zelgius is just this chill guy, but his smile fades away when he says this.
Interesting maneuver.
Will you draw your blade?
I trust you know who you face, Zelgius, commander of this army. If you're not worthy of fighting me, then you are only wasting my time.
Sick ending shot too. The Forest. This is a beautiful cutscene showing Rayson and Leanne revive Serenus Forest and not the Dead Forum, the actual Serenus Forest, but it's just a shame Ike doesn't seem too infused. Seriously, what is with this anime 2000s media having such bad voice direction? Seriously. But this is a memorable cutscene, mostly for that song. Shy Sakura. Similar to Annalise 1, I find this one oddly funny due to Sakura's awkward look around after introducing herself. Isn't that relatable, guys? But just Corrin staring at her and saying nothing. Just eyeing her down, poor girl. Citizens of the East. Interesting cutscene, but I do wonder why this one was made. It's mostly this high because post timeskip there are very few Free Houses cutscenes and I remember it, so probably there. But it does feel a bit off. Also, good thing both these guys knew they would chill, because this is a bit risky, isn't it? Couldn't one of those arrows have flung into one of the soldiers' heads? Watch out, guys. Marnie's Defiance. Shoot me. I found this shit sad. I don't care whoever says anything. I don't know what the common consensus is surrounding this moment, but I really did come round on Marnie. Her voice actor does a great job performing here, and the childhood psychology of wanting to fit in is clearly something that damaged her deeply, so her paralysis after failing is understandable. She's really sympathetic, and goddammit she deserved to live. Death of a Divine Dragon. Aaliyah dies again. This is well animated, but I'm just going through the motions here. I don't even know why it got this high on the list looking back. Radlon Restored. Let's just get some of these cutscenes out of the way. It's very well animated, and I really like Vale's facial expression here, similar to a lot of Engage's cutscenes. The actual real cutscenes have some great expression work. A new emblem. Aaliyah is revived! I like Aaliyah's face here, again, noticing a theme, and these cutscenes are objectively quite good, but man, they would be so much better with a good script. Although, Aaliyah's hair changing in the pose does kinda go hard. Two Falchions. Remind me again why Lucina is swinging at her father, nearly killing him here. Is this in her plan? Ah well, regardless, sick cutscene, great animation, fluid, exciting, and Chrom does this sick move in the air here. This isn't even close to being humanly possible, let alone anime possible, but fine, I'll suspend my disbelief for you, Chrom. The battle. Great cutscene for the midpoint of the pre-war arc of Three Houses, but I personally find it objectively worse from the post-timeskip version of this cutscene. Children of Fate, beautiful cutscene showing these two reuniting. It's just a shame, but I don't buy their bond at all. Lakeside Song, a nice intro to I was going to call it Azura then, what the f... It's a great cutscene to Azura, it's got beautiful lighting, good intrigue, and who the heck is this girl? No more songs, and shout out to the best name of one of these cutscenes so far. Jesus Christ, that's kind of sad. Let's just get this Azura one out of the way. It's nice, but Azura as a character never really did much for me. Cataclysm? Cataclysm. This one's just alright for Awakening standards, but that's a pretty good standard, so we'll let it slide. I love these characters, and I love Lucina. I love Lucina. I love Marth. I love Marth. Alone. This is a great sense of atmosphere here with the snow falling on the soldiers' stone bodies and Ike's panic setting in, seeing a more vulnerable side to him, clearly uncomfortable. Even the cold in his breath just adds to this lonely feeling. This is really great for 2007, my god. Second meeting, downright iconic. Maybe too iconic, but still a great little cutscene. Clash at the border, what an odd cutscene. It feels like it doesn't belong in Engage. It's so good. The action, the genuine tension between these two kings, how well it's animated. Decent writing, and look at this action. It's so smooth. Even the Lin ring shooting King Morion through the damn chest is really well done and hard to watch. Fair play, Engage. This is the little gem tucked in with all these mediocre cutscenes. Did the B team come in for this cutscene? It should be the new A team. Memories, the first ever Fire Emblem cutscene, and aside from the odd voice acting, it's surprisingly held up quite well. I even think the action is good for the time, and it clearly shows Ike's youth and inexperience compared to Grail. I do surprisingly like this one. I do, however, find it weird how he sees his mother in mist for a second. Is that sweet or a bit strange? I don't know. I don't have a sister. Well, I don't know what to say. Ambushed. I wish I liked this one more, but I think it would have been better if the Nankos actually hit Scarlet in the cutscene, but it's all told off screen sadly. But this one has some great tension and the camera is so shaky that I kind of love it. Okay, it's time to do some Fates intros, shall we? I think it's time. Let's start with versus Leo. The sentence may be deaf, but the only thing dying here is my brain cells watching all these damn cutscenes. Versus Hinoka, yep, I like it. Great animation, good quip, and what else is there to say? Less is more. Versus Camilla, same stuff, but this time the girl has breasts. Nice, I wish she was my big sister. Versus Xander, more of the same, but I like how his horse is just off focus here. That's actually quite a cute touch you don't really notice on the small 3DS screen. To the Depths, like Ambush, but it's a bit more focused, and I like Azura's badass head nod. Still a great POV shaky cam here, it's authentic, I like it. Invisible Door, I like the last one, but I like Azura's sad reaction.
Why are you here?
Makoto Manifests is so much better than Lumira, because Vala is meant to be a distorted, weird hellhole place, and this reveal at the end of the DLC feels like a trippy reunion while Lumira's feels sloppy. I will die on this hill, don't you Versus Garen. God, the animation is good, and Garen's creepy smile is great. Adds this sense of fear to him, like he's about to rip Corrin apart. Memories of a millennium ago. God, I love this moment. His eye. What the hell? Why is it so well done? And this Mephiles beam. No! Ah! And this line sounds like it's from Wreck-It Ralph. I like it.
But I want it to be a good dragon.
The Queen falls and Lumira's death. One of these is really well animated and looks great, but honestly, it's the second part I prefer. All because of Aaliyah's tremendous voice acting here.
You were going to give me that ring once my memories came back. You promised. And there are so many things you haven't told me yet. You said that we would talk.
I did. There's still so much I wanted to say to you.
My only gripe is it's a bit long. I kind of wish it was a bit snappier, just go on a bit. But I really do buy this relationship, and Lumira is just such a nice character. I just can't help but find this cutscene kind of touching. Mortal Struggle, a great cutscene. The Echoes motif playing in the background, Jeddah slithering literally into the darkness, Arm's heroic falchion plunge into Celica. It's pretty awesome, and her resurrection like Christ himself. Even the way the dark room is brightened by moments of light from Falchion and Celica and this heroic moment really feels straight out of a fairy tale. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous cutscene. A reunion to come. I love this cutscene. It's touching and sentimental. I like the way Aaliyah just knows all his emblems are gone, but he still tries to call for them. Even Marth's little monologue at the end is oddly touching.
Someday, in the future, our paths may cross once more. Our bonds can be reforged time and again. Whenever you desire, you need only say the word. Engage!
Final Strike and God's End are both continuing on from each other. Final Strike involves Ike and Micaiah using their strength ready to kill Ashira, which is neat, and features a rare Micaiah speaking moment. But it's God's End I personally prefer. I actually like Ike's small speech to Yune here a lot.
We don't have much use for gods. But well, you show us what we should aspire to. We need inspiration. You give us a reason to grow, to become more than we are. And if we don't have that, Yune, we're nothing more than statues.
I find these games were so lived in, you know? I miss that. Both Telios games really seem to have this political edge to them. They have so much lore and genuine intrigue that's missing from some of the modern games. It was this balance which the old games just had and the new ones seem to struggle with. Even Three Houses, with all the politics talk, just isn't as captivating as Telios is, but oh well. I love the speech. The Curse, what an odd cutscene. Weird music in the background too. Rhea jumping like she's Yoda from the Star Wars prequels, and Talis, oh, it looks a bit rough. Overall, it's kind of messy, but what saves it is this reveal at the end. Oh my god, the music motif from God Shattering Star. Oh my god, that's good. Oh my god.
I'm gonna come.
Fell Dragon Sombron, great cutscene here to show both Sombron's evil, callous ways, to not even hesitate to eat the man who revived him. But it also works to show Hyacinth to be a sympathetic character, which works later on when Ivy, and especially Hortensia, reminisce about how they missed their father. Plus, the facial expression might be one of the best in the game here. A past battle. Good intro cutscene for Engage, shows the main characters some decent action, and I like the way Diamant in particular is animated here. He swings with some real heft to them, and yeah, it's decent, I like it. A Battle of Heroes. With this, we complete the first game on this long list, but I do like this cutscene, mainly because it shows Arm to be a commanding leader, who's ready to kill and be killed, and I think that's absolutely, unapologetically, epic. A trap. I like the beginning of this one a lot, mostly because I like Kronya's genuine fear and the shakiness she has, with the fear that Byleth is about to maul her, but the stuff with Solon banishing Byleth is also pretty good too. Javelins of Light, great cutscene, showing the threat that these things portray, like a nuclear bomb. Even the Death Knight getting out of there really highlights that danger to life. I like this one, it's kind of unique among all these cutscenes. Two Swords, this is downright iconic of course, and it is obviously epic, but it loses some points because it's obviously some dream sequence or something, which sucks because this freeze frame is so cool. Life returns. I love the way after returning back to human, the Benyon soldiers and Legoose just look at each other like, nah, screw this, and just have a stretch and throw their lances to the floor. Wholesome ending. True Form. I have no reason for this to be so high, I just like Fates, alright, but look at these lads' faces. Poor fellas, all this work for nothing. Dad was evil all along. That shit sucks. But this plot doesn't hit very hard. I just think someone should make an award-winning video explaining why Conquest is kinda overrated. If only someone would make that. It's a great cutscene though. Decision. A bit too iconic this one. I mean, this played for every trailer imaginable back in the day. It's hard to take it seriously. As a part of the game, it just doesn't even feel real, but I'll give Fate credit. These cutscenes, very memorable. They're short, impactful, and most of all beautiful, and I of course would pick Takumi here because that's my silly little opinion. The escape. Aside from all the memes about...
Is it the Dawn Brigade?
No, it was just a bird.
This cutscene not only shows how impressive the CGI has got since Path of Radiance, but also that the sense of action and camera work here has been massively improved. The way Soph effortlessly moves and kicks these guys is really something, and I mean, look at what he does to this guy. Ouch, no punch is pulled. I do question, however, why Micaiah says this like she's Japanese. Cringe.
Got you now.
I beg your pardon?
Versus Takumi. Okay, I love Takumi, so I'm biased here, but look how he parts the soldiers. Look at his stride. Hear the anger on his voice. Look at the Fujin Umi glow. Oh, it's beautiful. Perfection. I love him so much. Dire Future 1 and Dire Future 2. Both basically the same thing. Lucina desperately fighting in the future for her life, and man, is it good. The look of terror on her face. The scream at the end. Oh, it all feels like this is Lucina's last stand, and it explains how, in her future, why she is so fearful in the present. It's brilliant. Lucina is such a good character. She's heroic and brave, but also holds this deep anxiety, and watching her here explains all of that. It's very well done. Revenge. The intro cutscene for Three Houses, and it's gorgeous. The lighting and camera work are fantastic. Even the occasional slowdown adds a pace of unpredictability to this scene. And I think most of what it does convey is a darker tone to a Fire Emblem game. Usually most of the games, like Fate's, are a bit more light-hearted, but Three Houses opens up and it's a bit edgier. And I'll expand on this a bit later on with some of the further Three Houses picks, but this cutscene would never have been done in basically any other Fire Emblem game. And that's why it's a great opener. Would this ever be an Engage? Be honest.
That I loved!
Light Song and Dark Song, both classics. Once again, maybe too iconic, but they work well to highlight Reina Strober's beautiful voice. And of course, the memes of Garen getting too excited are great as well. I do think that Fate should have been given more credit, because no other game has cutscenes where I go, this is too iconic to rank. But this one I'm finding that a lot. So these are great songs. It's a little bit too iconic for me. It's Fate's motif, and it's great to watch. What else is there to say? Lost Memory. This is horrifying, and damn, Sumeragi, why did you fall for such an obvious trap? That's sad. Still, this is great, impactful, and shows Garen's ruthlessness. A World for Humanity. This has scored surprisingly low for the caliber of this cutscene. While visually stunning and a great climax, I find it a little basic compared to the other Three Houses cutscenes. So it doesn't really make me feel much. And also, I kind of like Rhea as a character, so I'm not sure she deserved all of this. Yuck. Forcia. I can't put my finger on this one. It just works so well for me, but it's cool, and I like Lucina's line here.
Wait, you're a woman?
And quite the actress, too. Honestly, I'm surprised you didn't figure it out until just now.
A Brother's Vow. I like this ending, I do, and this is iconic. But Xander's speech, man, oh god, it's so tone deaf. Look, watch my last video for more, but I do enjoy the imagery of an empty throne where Garen used to be. Feels like Nor has lost something in this conflict despite being the winners, and I like that. That's pretty deep. Takumi revealed. This is an absolutely great twist and genuinely surprising, but my love for Takumi means this does upset me ever so slightly, but still, it's an amazing reveal, and also kind of intimidating for a Fates cutscene. Descent. You know, despite Byleth being an unflinching, unemotional character, I genuinely buy their relationship with all the cast in this game. Maybe that's because they often act as a stoic, unflinching ally, but it's something I really like, and I like that here, with Rhea telling them that she entrusts everything to them. That's really sweet and heartfelt here. And I like seeing Claude use a sword also, very cool. And this whip shot to crack the plate. Oh, I like how that's animated. Good looking cutscene, but lacks the emotional hook that would make it a 10 out of 10. Grima's return. Honestly, unremarkable except for Lucina's reaction. This is a psychology nerd speaking, but god, this just screams PTSD, which is really understandable, and the facial expression works well to that theory. I love Lucina, she's really well done. Mingled tears. Okay, I actually have stuff to say for this one. Obviously, I love it. I love the slowed down Xander reaction, and then the music note as Elise is falling. Her monologue is really well done, and I like that Shakespearean tragedy behind the young happy girl, the happy-go-lucky daughter being the most mature and optimistic, believing in the best when that's never going to happen. Killing Elise is perfect for that tragic plot of Birthright's going for. My issue comes from Xander. Does he deserve this? Has he really done anything much in Birthright to warrant murdering his own sister? I honestly feel this would have been more impactful if Garen killed her, and maybe we would see his stoic, mean self break a little for his youngest child, but I'm dreaming of something that doesn't exist. As is, it's a great cutscene.
I shall defend my homeland!
The Archbishop and the Academy. Both introduce Garrick Monastery and both do a great job. The Archbishop immediately shows how Rhea is a figure to take seriously one way or the other, and the Academy continues that in a beautiful and brief introduction of all the students doing something relevant, with highlight on Dimitri of course, because wow is he handsome, and all the while this nice music is playing in the background. Grief, one of the few Fates cutscenes to not be a POV, and it works really well. The backgrounds and shading here in particular are amazing, and this shot is one of my favourites. Azura's line here is touching as well, with a tear rolling down her face, although I think Sakura overreacts a little bit here. Like, grow up man, it's not like your mother just died or anything, for fuck's sake. Never mind, I take it back, sorry Sakura. Reunion Verdant Wind. While I love the Three Houses character reunited cutscenes, Claude's is a bit confusing. While I do get it, he's the tactical one, always with a plan. He isn't even a bit shocked to see Byleth, like nothing. It's been 5 years, no reaction. I believe that he always believed Byleth would return, but this here's a bit far. Although Claude's optimism and larger-than-life mentality is captivating, so consider me captivated, Claude. Grail's Fall. Honestly, this is a really good cutscene. I just wish I could understand what the Black Knight was saying.
For a long time, I would prefer it if you used your proper weapon, so that I might see you at your full strength. General Gawain, Rider of Dain.
But seriously, Grail's tough guy stance is just so admirable. To keep Ike out of harm's way, but also to go out of his way to use Irvan and not Ragnar is just so cool. And special shout out to this camera shot of Grail's cape fading into the Black Knight, menacingly staring back. That is a great camera shot, and honestly, go watch this one. More than the others, it's hard to describe why it works so well, even for the time, but it does. So it's well paced, well written, well shot, go watch it. Emerin is a touching goodbye, and the quiet music before she jumps is really well done. And Crom running and Lissa crying contrasts well to the stoic Emerin falling. I think what helps as well is the context that after this, even Pelagian generals find it hard not to be moved by this. I was moved also. Well done. Vale's Wish. Been a while Engage, and this is my favourite Engage cutscene. It's beautiful, it's heartfelt, it is probably one of the best looking Fire Emblem cutscenes ever. Vale is a great character, and it's the thumbnail of that one video I made, so it's got a soft spot for me. Go on, I'll play the line, one of my favourite line deliveries in the entire series.
But why?
I know you can't forgive me for all the things I've done. But still, you must know. I need you to know that, even though our friendship was brief, it meant everything.
Rematch. Do I need to say any more? But yeah, this one is one of the most powerful line deliveries in the series. This Dimitri line, oh, it's so good.
Kill every last one of them!
But Edelgard's humanity and sadness, lots of emotions here, and I love a full circle moment, and yeah, this is literally the definition of a full circle, but our characters have changed since. It's a great cutscene. Versus Ryoma. Okay, there were a lot of character interest in Fates, but please, I'm just gonna play this one. Just watch. It's perfect, it really is.
You have done well so far. But that was just practice. No more games. To the death.
A new dawn. Sorry Claude, but your cutscenes don't hit me as hard. Regardless, this one's great. Good action, as Three Houses usually has some pretty good action. But this speech from Claude does kind of get me every time, to be honest.
Yet we have the strength to scale the walls between us, to reach out our hands in friendship so we can open our true hearts to one another. That's how we win!
And in the end, it's the teamwork between Byleth and Claude that wins over Nemesis. His solo mentality is the death of him. And I love that. That's some Sonic Heroes type cheesy shit, and I love it. Loathing. This cutscene is wild, but being honest, while entertaining and intimidating, I think Dimitri is better either wholesome or brooding. Not sure about this Dimitri. He's a mix of Chihuahua and Pitbull. And while later on he just kind of acts like a tough mafia type, controlled maniac later on, here he's just maniac. Bro snaps someone's neck with his bare hand. What the fuck? It's still very memorable, however, and it's very entertaining, so I like it. A Mother's Wish. This one's great, just because of this line.
Don't fall now, careful!
Just kidding, A Mother's Wish is a beautiful cutscene, but yeah, Happy Takumi makes me a happy man. I will say though, the statue of Makoto, hello, was this built with the war funds? That seems irresponsible. Tut tut tut. Oh well. Also, I think this is one of the most fun POV Fates cam. Riding with Hinoka, which I'd love to ride with Hinoka. Ride with Hinoka? Yeah, let's move on. Marth no more. God, this was a beautiful cutscene. Lucina is a girl who wears the weight of the world on her shoulders, and seeing this stoic woman break down as her father is finally with her again. Oh, and the line from Crom. Jesus Christ, you want to put a knife through my heart?
You deserved better from me than one sword in a world of troubles. I'm sorry.
Execution. Definitely one of the best single moments in the entire series here. This moment goes so ridiculously hard, it's not funny.
Watch and learn. One clean motion. No hesitation.
The music starting the reintroduction of Ike, it's so good, and yeah, the voice acting here does bring it down a little bit. It's questionable. And why does Rolf sound like that?
What have I hit her?
Guys, he's like 15 here. Why does he sound like his balls haven't dropped? Seriously, what the hell? But anyway, this is an amazing way to reintroduce a character. I mean, a phenomenal way. Mother's death, this one gets me, I can't lie. Makoto's death is so much better than Lumira's for a few reasons. One, she dies in a genuinely shocking way. Lumira gets magic beamed or something boring. Makoto gets penetrated from shrapnel from a... I don't know if I can say this word on YouTube, from a TERRORIST attack. That's brutal. 2, she dies quick. Lumira's like 5 minutes. Makoto's like 5 seconds. Probably 1 went through her heart, poor girl. And 3, oh my god, the reactions. I love these reactions.
Mother!
You there! Show yourself!
Corrin has good voice acting, but watching everyone else here is just sad. Plus, Corrin has a great scream regardless of what voice you chose, which is a nice touch. Overall, it's phenomenal, but just shy of the best parent death cutscene. We'll get to that one. There is, shockingly, 4 of these somehow, and that's just including the main parent. We're not even counting Sumeragi in that figure. Oh my god. United. This cutscene works really well for me. Elincia feels nervous about being queen because she's always lived in hiding, and she works so well with Ike, who here is basically her opposite, as he gives her a much needed pep talk. And Elincia, ironically, is exactly suited for that peaceful rebuilding and not built for war. But the speech Ike gives her is weirdly poetic and true, and Ike is never one for a good speech, clearly, if Radiant Dawn showed us that. And I just love the way they walk off together. It's amazing. It almost brings a tear to my eye. The affection they have for each other while also being really subtle. They complement each other so well. So well. I love that. Reunion Azure Moon, a shocking cutscene. It really shows how far Dimitri has fallen, cowering in a corner, covered in blood, as he can't even bear to look at his former teacher through shame. Jesus, that's sad. It's a short cutscene, but it's very powerful. Wailing. I hold a soft spot for Rhea, being honest. I find her a really sympathetic and tragic character, and I think nothing screams that more than this cutscene of her weak and dying body, ready to accept her fate. And the song in the background helps with that mood as well. It's really, really good, this one. Brethren United. Oh my god, I love this one. Sorry I keep saying I love every one of these cutscenes, but we're in the top 10 now, what can I say? Not only is it so beautiful and saturated, but also, these characters have such nice dialogue. God, I love Takumi.
Wish it were that easy to just forgive, you know?
I know, but healing can only begin with trust.
Yeah.
His little yeah. Oh, my heart. I love this cast. I love it. And seeing them get along makes me smile, alright? Awakening. And no, not the game. This is next to the Radiant Dawn cutscene with Shinon, with being one of the hardest moments in Fire Emblem. Just watch. It gives me goosebumps every single time.
So the Fellstar consumes even the darkness itself.
Reunion Silver Snow. What a beautifully sad cutscene with a great line.
Even though our swords may cross as they do now. There's no denying that our chosen paths never will.
Edelgard is a very sympathetic character to me personally, another Silver Snow route in particular. She holds a unique position, which I'll elaborate more on in a second, but for me, this cutscene is really well shot and feels uniquely bittersweet. At Death's Door, I love this one. Geralt's death is surprisingly touching for a few reasons, and here we enter Nerd Terror. So what I think is so great here in Geralt's death is the symbolic death of Byleth's old life. Coming to Garrick Mark Monastery, Geralt has seemingly always been skeptical of Rhea, and even the houses in almost grooming his child, and by this point in the game, Geralt has largely failed in preventing Byleth from being sucked into all of this. It doesn't matter what path you take. In this game, there is no going back to your old life. The death of Geralt means that Byleth is more alone than ever, and somehow more connected than ever, depending on how you, the player, feel about this new life, with the political drama of the various factions, and with the love of your students or the church. It's quite interesting. The simplistic Geralt is a remnant of Byleth's past, and I think that he dies at the perfect fork in the road moment. Pretty deep into the story, but also not deep enough. Aside from my nerding out, the Divine Pulse is great to see here, and Byleth's tears are surprisingly touching. They don't speak, but the emotions here are really felt. The song in the back helps too. It's a piece of art, this one. I'll always love it. Death of the Flame Emperor. man, Three Houses has a lot of these top entries, doesn't it? I hate love this one. Edelgard is not a woman to give up. So I love this line, man.
If I must fall, let it be by your hand.
This one, especially for the context of Silver Snow, is so sad. Killing your former student, and this scene at the end. Just watch.
I wanted to walk with you.
Let me ask you a question. Would Engage do that? No, it wouldn't. I've realised some people have begun to turn on Three Houses because, of course, they have. But I just don't agree with that. Three Houses has a level of maturity and depth that is unlike most of the other games, and I will always respect it for that. Plus, these cutscenes are gorgeous. Samurai's Duty. I admit I've used this one in many videos as a joke, usually as like a quick jump scare, but I love this one. It's hard to put it so high because it's so short, but it's perfect. Ryoma's dialogue is great. The act of offing himself is incredibly sad, and the animation and lighting here is on point. The pain on his face, his smouldering body from the sword's intense heat, and that hopeful, confident look before death, like a comforting older brother still looking out for his younger sibling. Oh, I love this one, and it's incredibly memorable. I'm counting on you too, Ryoma. And the best cutscene in Fire Emblem history is Light and Shadow. This cutscene demonstrates Dimitri's unwavering but determined optimism as he has battled through everything in his life, only to finally feel he can accept himself, and more importantly, forgive the woman who he thought had taken everything from him. That handout, the gesture of goodwill, only to be followed by Edelgard still trying to fight on for Dimitri to once and for all put her down for good, because she knew he wouldn't unless she fought to the end. The facial expressions, the music here, everything works. The sadness on Dimitri, knowing that he couldn't save her. Some people will die, and having to accept that. The turnaround, to deny what had just happened. It breaks me every time. He's still in denial, poor guy. Like the fact that she tried to stab him last minute doesn't even matter to him. He still wanted to save her, and maybe save part of himself too. It's a piece of art, this one, and I will forever love it. However, it is interesting how when Byleth was killing her, she accepted it, but not when Dimitri does it. This could just be inconsistent writing, or it could show that she never really respected Dimitri, and always viewed him as beneath her, or maybe she wanted to give him that extra push. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And that was a very, very long video, so if you watched that all the way through, thank you so much. This took me a long time to make. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I really appreciate that. Leave a comment. I would love to hear some of your guys' opinions. What's your favourite cutscene in the series? Do you agree with my list? I'd love to hear it below. But until next time, peace out.